Imagine this for a second. What if the biggest shift in your life does not begin with money, contacts, status, or perfect timing, but with one decision inside your own mind? What if the people who seem blessed, protected, always early to the right moment are not chosen by chance at all? What if they simply expect life to open for them, and because they expect it, it does? Stay with me, because this changes everything. The moment you stop calling good things rare, the moment you stop treating joy like an exception, the moment you begin to move like life is already working for you, something starts to turn. Not outside first, inside. And that is where all real change begins. The world reacts to the story you repeat within. It reflects the mood you carry. It echoes the identity you accept. So if you wake up tomorrow and decide, deeply decide, that you are the luckiest person alive, not in a loud fake way, but in a quiet certain way, your energy changes, your eyes change, your posture changes, your choices change, and then life starts answering that new version of you. People call it luck, they call it timing, they call it a miracle. But maybe it is something simpler and stronger than that. Maybe life has been waiting for you to believe that you are already supported, already guided, already favored, and already moving toward what is yours. Most people wait for proof. That is why they stay in the same cycle. They say, show me something good and then I will believe life is on my side. Show me the open door, the answered message, the money, the breakthrough, and then I will feel secure. But it does not move in that order. You feel it first. You accept it first. You live from it first. Then the outer world begins to rearrange. That is the part many miss. The feeling comes before the fact. The inner decision comes before the visible result. If you keep saying life is hard, people are selfish, chances are limited, and good things happen to others, the world hears that signal and repeats it back to you. But if you begin to say, everything is moving for me, the right moment is finding me, even this delay is helping me, even this closed door is redirection, then you stop moving like someone rejected by life. You begin to move like someone protected by it. And that shift is powerful. This is not about acting arrogant. It is not about denying problems. It is about refusing to worship appearances. It is about understanding that what you hold with feeling becomes the pattern your life begins to follow. Listen closely. The world does not always give you what you beg for. It gives back what you most deeply believe. Think about the people you call fortunate. They often carry a quiet ease. They do not look shocked when something works out. They do not act surprised when the right person appears, when a chance opens, when a problem solves itself faster than expected. Why? Because somewhere inside, they already made room for good things. They already decided that life can go well. Their mind is not trained for disaster every minute. Their heart is not expecting rejection before the moment even arrives. They walk in with a calm assumption that something useful, beautiful, or important can happen here. That inner posture is not small. It shapes everything. It changes how they speak. It changes what they notice. It changes which opportunities they recognize and which ones they miss. It changes how others feel around them. People are drawn to certainty. Doors often open for the person who already feels welcome. So ask yourself honestly, what have you been assuming when nobody is around? What do you say in your quiet moments about your future, your money, your relationships, your worth? Those hidden thoughts are not harmless. They are instructions. They are seeds. They are writing the atmosphere of your life. And the good news is this can change now, not someday, not after a perfect week, now. You can begin carrying a new assumption today, and once you hold it long enough with feeling, life begins to answer it in ways that seem almost impossible until they happen. Wake up with this energy. Something good is already moving. Walk with this energy. I am being led. Speak with this energy. What I need is finding me. Feel the difference. It softens fear. It lowers struggle. It clears the noise in your mind. You stop rushing every outcome. You stop making every delay mean failure. You stop reading rejection as a final sentence. Instead, you start seeing direction in things that once felt painful. That missed call may be protection. That delay may be timing. That ending may be making space for something stronger. This is where the script of your life starts to look different. Not because the world suddenly became kinder overnight, but because your state changed and your life had to mirror it. There is a force in a calm, favored identity. When you expect support, you notice support. When you expect guidance, you recognize guidance. When you expect openings, you walk toward them differently. And yes, there will still be moments when your old thoughts return. There will be days when fear speaks loudly, but that is not the time to surrender your new story. that is the time to return to it again and again. Say it until your body starts to believe it. I am not forgotten. I am not behind. I am not shut out. I am guided. I am supported. I am aligned with the right people, the right timing, and the right outcomes. This is not fantasy. This is training your inner world to stop betraying your future. There is a deeper rule at work beneath what people call coincidence. Life keeps reflecting the state you live in most often, not the words you say once in a while, not the mood you fake in public, your dominant state, your repeated inner condition. That is what shapes the pattern. If you spend most of your time bracing for bad news, expecting silence, preparing for disappointment, then even when you say you want better, your deeper signal still says, I do not think better is for me. And life responds to that deeper message. But when your inner state becomes more stable, more trusting, more open, more certain that good belongs in your life, the pattern starts to change, slowly at first. Then clearly, you notice different conversations, different ideas, different impulses, different timing. You find yourself in places you did not plan, meeting people you did not expect, hearing exactly what you needed to hear. Others call it luck. But you know what really changed? You stopped rehearsing lack. You stopped feeding the version of yourself that always expected less. This matters more than most people understand. Your state is a magnet. Your state is a message. Your state is the atmosphere in which your future grows. So do not only ask, what do I want? Ask the stronger question, who am I being while I wait? Because if you are being desperate, afraid, and doubtful, you delay yourself. But if you are being calm, clear, and inwardly certain, you are already becoming the life you want to live. Now take this even further. Imagine living as though the result is already settled in your favor. Not forcing it, not pretending in a hollow way. Truly settling into the feeling that what you desire already exists in a deeper layer of reality. This is where everything begins to move faster. The moment you stop asking only how, when, and whether, and you start entering the state of already having, your whole energy changes. Your mind stops chasing, your heart stops clinging, your body relaxes. You begin to think from the outcome instead of thinking toward it. That is a huge difference. A person who thinks toward the result often feels lack. They feel distance, they feel pressure. A person who thinks from the result carries a different tone. They feel chosen by what they seek. They move with natural confidence. They do not have to force every step because they already feel connected to the end. And when you live like that, your actions become cleaner, smarter, stronger. You speak as if your path matters. You make choices as if your future is real. You stop shrinking around your own desires. This is the shift. You no longer say, maybe one day I will be secure, loved, respected, abundant. You begin to feel, I already belong to that reality, and now the visible world is simply catching up. And once something feels natural inside you, it becomes much easier for it to appear outside you. That is why your inner picture matters so much. It is not decoration, it is direction. Gratitude changes the speed of this process, but not ordinary gratitude that only appears after results. The deeper kind, the kind that gives thanks before the evidence shows up. That is powerful. That is bold. That is the energy of someone who trusts the unseen. Most people say thank you after the answer comes, but there is another way to live. You can say thank you while the door still looks closed. Thank you while the path is still quiet. Thank you while the result is still invisible. Why? Because the moment gratitude enters, lack begins to lose its grip. You are no longer standing in need. You are standing in trust. You are no longer begging life to notice you. You are receiving inwardly before the world confirms anything. That inner receiving creates peace. It ends the desperate chase. It sends a new signal through your whole being. I trust what is forming. I trust what is moving. I trust what I cannot yet see. That kind of gratitude is not weak, it is creative. It shifts your emotional position from waiting to welcoming, and life responds to welcome. Start your days like this. Thank you for the open doors already on the way. Thank you for the right people coming near me. Thank you for the breakthrough forming now. Thank you for the protection in what did not work. Thank you for the wisdom in every delay. Stay with that feeling. Let it become real in your chest. When gratitude becomes your atmosphere, you stop looking empty to life. You begin to look ready. And when you are ready inwardly, the world starts matching that readiness. A call arrives, an idea lands, a connection appears, a problem breaks open and reveals a path hidden inside it. At first the changes may look small, almost easy to miss, but do not dismiss them. Small shifts often announce bigger ones. A new thought, better sleep, more peace, a sudden sense of confidence, a chance meeting, a fresh opening. These are not random moments when you have been changing your inner condition on purpose. They are signs that the outer world is beginning to echo your new state. This is why protecting your mind matters. This is why your private self-talk matters. If you build a powerful state in the morning but spend the rest of the day speaking defeat, replaying old pain, and expecting the worst, you weaken your own momentum. Your inner world needs consistency, not perfection. Consistency. Return to the truth you chose. Return to the feeling of being favored. Return to the vision of the life already forming. Even when the world is quiet, even when nothing seems to move, especially then, because that is when your deeper belief is being tested and strengthened. Do not throw away your new story just because the old one still has momentum. The visible world often lags behind the inner shift. That does not mean nothing is happening. It means reality is reorganizing. And while it does, your job is simple. Stay aligned, stay calm, stay faithful to the version of yourself who already knows life is responding. Your self-image is doing more than you think. The life you live keeps organizing itself around the identity you accept as normal. If deep down you still see yourself as the one who struggles, the one who gets overlooked, the one who almost gets there but never fully arrives, then even your effort may keep circling the same results. But when your self-image rises, your standards rise with it. You no longer feel natural in doubt. You no longer treat lack like home. You no longer build your future around your past pain. You begin to carry a new inner normal. Favor feels normal. Peace feels normal. Progress feels normal. Being chosen feels normal. Money flowing feels normal. Loving relationships feel normal. Clear direction feels normal. This is what changes the pattern. Not one loud moment of motivation, but a new internal baseline. Think of it like setting the temperature of your reality. If your inner setting is low worth, low trust, low expectation, life will keep matching that level. But if you raise that setting and really live there, not once but daily, things begin to reorganize. It may not all happen in one dramatic day, but it will move. It has to. Life cannot keep reflecting an old identity once the new one becomes dominant. So ask yourself, what would feel normal if I truly knew I was supported? What would I stop tolerating? What would I stop fearing? How would I walk into a room? How would I speak to myself when no one is listening? That is where the real work is. That is where the real power is. This also changes the way you meet challenges. When your state is weak, every delay feels personal. Every obstacle feels like proof that nothing is working. Every closed door feels like the end. But when your state is strong, even hard moments begin to look different. You do not enjoy pain, but you no longer let pain define the story. You read it differently. You see training where you once saw punishment. You see timing where you once saw denial. You see redirection where you once saw failure. This gives you stability. It keeps you from collapsing every time life looks unclear. And that stability is magnetic. People trust steady energy. Opportunities land better in a grounded mind. Ideas come clearer when panic is not running the room. So when something appears to go wrong, slow down. Ask a better question. If life is still working for me, what could this mean? If I am still guided, what is this moment trying to reveal? If I am still supported, how is this helping shape me for what is next? These questions keep you in power. They stop you from becoming a victim of appearances. And that matters because the version of you who lives in constant reaction cannot hold a new future for long. But the version of you who stays rooted, who keeps the inner signal clear, who remembers that the outer world is catching up, that person becomes difficult to stop. Not because they force life, but because they stop fighting themselves. And when inner conflict drops, progress speeds up. Now bring this into the area that tests people the most, abundance. So many people say they want wealth, but inside they still feel far from it. They think from bills, pressure, and fear. They speak from shortage. They move like money is always leaving and never returning. Then they wonder why abundance feels distant. But if you want a different result, you have to begin with a different state. Not fake spending, not reckless choices, a different inner relationship with plenty. Feel what it would be like to be deeply provided for. Feel what it would be like to make choices from stability instead of panic. Feel what it would be like to know that resources are available, ideas are available, support is available, opportunity is available. Let that become real in you. Because wealth is not only numbers, it is also identity. People who feel supplied think differently, decide differently, and notice options other people miss. They are not always chasing because inwardly they already feel connected to provision. That changes behavior. That changes results. So stop staring only at the current picture and calling it permanent. The present often reflects old beliefs, not final truth. If you keep reacting only to what is visible, you repeat it. But if you begin accepting abundance inwardly, if you train yourself to think, choose, and carry yourself from a deeper sense of provision, then your outer life begins to move in that direction. This is not magic in the childish sense. It is the steady effect of a new inner command. The same is true in love, purpose, and personal peace. If you believe you are hard to love, you may keep choosing distance. If you believe your voice does not matter, you may silence yourself before others even have the chance to hear you. If you believe your life is supposed to be struggle, you may reject ease the moment it appears because it feels unfamiliar. This is why a new life can feel uncomfortable at first. Not because it is wrong, but because your nervous system has memorized old patterns. That is why repetition matters. Return to the new state until it stops feeling strange. Return to the thought, I am wanted, I am valuable, I am safe in good things, I am allowed to receive. Return to it when you are tired. Return to it when the old story gets loud. Return to it until your body recognizes peace as normal. And here is a retention line you need to hear. Do not quit because the first few days feel unnatural. That discomfort is not failure. It is evidence that something deeper is being reset. A new identity always feels unfamiliar before it feels true. But if you stay with it, if you keep feeding the new self-image instead of the old wound, then your reactions change, your choices change, your standards change, and your whole reality starts to look different. You do not need everyone else to agree first. You do not need permission to become the version of yourself who finally expects good things. You only need the courage to stop calling your old pain your permanent identity. So begin now in a very practical way. Sit still for a moment every day and see the version of you who already has what you desire. Not vaguely, clearly. See how that version breathes. See how that version speaks. See how that version enters a room, answers a message, makes a decision, handles pressure, receives good news, and even handles delay without panic. Feel it. Let the scene become familiar. Then carry that tone into your day. When fear appears, do not let it lead. When doubt speaks, answer it. When old thoughts say nothing works for me, replace them with something stronger. Everything is moving into place. When your mind says, I am behind, answer with, I am right on time. When your heart says, maybe I will be disappointed again, answer with, I am no longer available for that old pattern. This is inner discipline, quiet, repeated, powerful. And the more often you return to your chosen state, the more naturally your life begins to reflect it. You stop needing constant reassurance from the outside because you already have direction inside. That makes you less reactive, more present, more magnetic. And here is the part many people miss. The world often changes faster for the person who is no longer chasing change with desperation. Calm is powerful. Certainty is powerful. A clear inner identity is powerful. What you repeatedly embody becomes the instruction life follows. So do not underestimate the daily unseen work. It is building the visible future piece by piece. One day, what you once imagined will begin to feel ordinary. That is when you know the shift is real. The thing you used to beg for becomes part of your life. The peace you used to chase becomes your baseline. The opportunities you once thought belonged to other people begin arriving for you. The love you once feared becomes safe enough to receive. The money you once doubted begins to move differently. The confidence you once tried to perform becomes natural. And when that happens, it will not feel as shocking as you expected. It will feel familiar. Why? Because you have already lived it inside so many times. You have already walked there in imagination. You have already thanked life for it in advance. You have already practiced being the person who can hold it. That is why inner work matters. It makes the future feel like home before you physically arrive. And when the outer moment finally shows up, you are ready for it, not overwhelmed by it, ready. So do not measure progress only by what you can see right now. Measure it by the peace growing in you. Measure it by the old fears losing strength. Measure it by the new certainty rising. Measure it by how quickly you return to truth after doubt. These are real signs. These are meaningful changes. And if you keep going, if you keep choosing the state of favor, gratitude, trust, and inner completion, there will come a point when your life looks so different that other people call it luck. But you will know better. You will know it was never random. It was your inner shift. It was the moment you stopped waiting for the world to approve your future. It was the moment you stopped asking for permission to believe in good things. It was the moment you decided that your life could reflect support instead of struggle, guidance instead of confusion, expansion instead of delay. So from this moment on, walk differently. Do not walk as someone begging life for scraps. Walk as someone who knows the path is opening. Speak differently. Do not speak as someone already defeated before the day begins. Speak as someone whose words carry expectation. Feel differently. Do not save your peace for later. Do not save your joy for after the result. Enter the feeling now. Hold it now. Protect it now. Let your identity say, I am favored, I am led, I am ready, I am the kind of person good things find. And if no one around you understands it yet, keep going. If the proof has not arrived yet, keep going. If the old story tries one more time to pull you back, keep going. Because the moment your inner world becomes steady in this new truth, the outer world will begin to answer. It has no other choice. Life mirrors what you most deeply accept. So accept something greater. Accept a future that fits your highest vision. Accept yourself as supported, fortunate, and fully aligned. Then watch how reality starts to move.